It worked, said Ben, as soon as Nettle, Bracken, and the raccoon had landed next to him. Mission accomplished. He seemed very quiet. They looked down at the valley from what was now the top of an unbroken wall of mountains. It wasn't long before a fluttering black V arose from the village and sped toward what had, until a minute ago, been the pass. When the witches drew close, they scattered, each witch soaring this way and that over the rubble. Nettle could see them leaning over and muttering. I hope they like it, said Ben, because there's not a lot we can do if they don't. I did wonder, said the raccoon. Dynamite and witches. Seemed like a bad combination. I think it worked just fine, said Nettle. Still, none of the witches seemed to be saying anything as they landed. Well, said Nettle. It's good, said Scabiosa slowly. I think it's a good thing. In the balance, anyway. But such a mess, said Violet. Rocks sliding everywhere, everything out of place. Violet, said Pensman under her breath, show some gratitude. She bowed shyly to Ben. We thank you, witch friend. Ben, said Ben, bowing. Ben Niskanen. It won't work forever, but it ought to hold them off for a while. Ben Niskanen, we thank you, said Gentian. Well, I'm glad it worked out, said Ben. Well, I think I'd better be getting on back. You're going home, then? Said Bracken. I think so. I'll need to ride back to the truck, though. You're going right now? Said Nettle. She realized suddenly that she hadn't given any thought at all to what Ben would do next. I think so, repeated Ben, quietly. There was an awkward pause. Why not stay with us? Said Pensman shyly. You and the raccoon, too, could come live in the valley with us. We have plenty of spare cottages when the others leave. You can have your choice. That's very nice of you, said Ben, looking startled. You have helped us greatly, said Pensman. All of us owe you a great debt. It was a good idea, I admit, said Violet grudgingly. Ben thought for a long moment. It's nice of you to ask me, it really is, but it doesn't seem right. Somehow, for a human to live in a witch village, I think I'd best be getting home. But you'll be lonely, blurted Nettle. Oh, maybe, but there are worse things. I'll miss you, he said to Bracken and Nettle. It would be nice if you could come home with me, but you can't. That's not the way things are. The raccoon tugged Bracken's shirt with his little hand. Tell him I'll go home with him. Sure, said Ben when Bracken told him. That would be nice. So that was the way it was. Ben climbed into the hammock and waved. Then Bracken and Nettle flew him and the raccoon back to the truck. No one was there. No human seemed to have noticed the explosion. So Ben fetched the license plates from under the rock and put them back on the truck. I had one more idea, said Ben. The well on my place is very deep and far from any city. Why don't you take a jug of well water back with you? It might work for making a new veil. You never know. I thought you could give it to the ones who are staying behind. Good idea, said Nettle. They can try, said Bracken, though she seemed doubtful. Thank you. Ben took out a jug and set it on the ground. Then he and the raccoon climbed into the truck. Here goes, said Ben, putting the key in the starting place. The truck made a horrid grinding noise, then another and another. Bracken went to the window and peered in. What's wrong? Nettle crowded next to her and craned in to see. It won't start, said Ben. I was afraid of that. But how will you get home? Said Bracken. Oh, we'll manage all right, said Ben, looking worried. We'll have to, I guess. Start, please start, said Nettle to the truck. It roared into life. Yikes, said Ben. Bracken bowed her hat solemnly. Fare thee well and merry be, she said softly, and thank you forever. Ben put his hand to his cap. So long, he said. It was good to know you both. Goodbye, said the raccoon. Likewise. Goodbye, said Nettle, bowing. How she hated goodbyes. They watched quietly as the truck rattled its way down the mountain. It was strange how the truck just started right up when you told it to, said Bracken. It was almost as though she stopped dead. Nettle, could you have been touching the necklace? Were you leaning against me? Could you have been touching it by mistake and then wished the truck would start? Oh, said Nettle, as the horrible realization of what that might mean sank in. It seemed as though maybe she might have been touching the necklace, and she'd so wanted the truck to start. I didn't mean to make a wish. Does thinking count for making a wish? I don't know, said Bracken. Try to remember, said Nettle. What did Toadflax say? Exactly. All she said was 3 wise wishes. I thought she meant for me, but maybe others could wish too. Once the first spell unlocked the necklace. Oh, she put her head in her hands. It wasn't at all clear, not at all. "Of course not," said Nettle bitterly. "Nothing ever was with Toadflax. Bracken looks sick. Nettle, what if all the wishes are used up?